Welcome to Resilient Love Podcast.
Join hosts Quinton and Breonna as they discuss tips on love, life, and
business.
Let's get into this next episode. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
You are back. We are back with another episode
of Resilient Love.
So we're recording a little different today for those of you that's watching. But we are still going forward with this episode. So we have a new segment that we are starting, and it's called Rate Your Day. So on a scale of 1 to 5, rate your day and obviously give us a little detail as to why you gave that rating. So I'll start us off. I will rate today a 4. And I give today a 4 because honestly, I got a lot done, but I feel like I got so much done that I didn't have time to woosah and relax. So it was productive, but I didn't really have like a chill moment. What about you?
Okay. Mine is pretty much the same. It's gonna be a 4. It was a good day. No complaints. The thing that makes it a 4 is I'm just beginning to look more into getting the most out of my day. I feel like I could have did just a tad bit more, and the way I could have done that was being organized and truly scheduled my day out and been better planned.
Yeah. So let us know. We actually got these cards from Target called Rate Your Day, and they are actually like sticky note cards. So we thought it would kind of be neat to start that in our segment. So if you want to order these Rate Your Day like sticky notes, we'll put the link in the description box for you to order. All right. So our second segment is question of the day. So, Quinton, what's the question of the day?
Question of the day is, what's your favorite movie and why?
My favorite movie is The Notebook. And I love The Notebook because it tells a story of a man and woman, how they got together. And essentially, at the end of the story, and this is a spoiler alert, at the end of the story, you find out, or you find out as the story progresses, that the wife has Alzheimer's. And so this entire movie is the man retelling how they got together. And I want you to watch it to see how it ends, but it's a really good movie.
Okay. I do need to watch that movie, but
Yes, he has not watched it.
So my favorite movie is Love and Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Love and Basketball is my favorite because it puts two things together, which I love. I like basketball, love basketball, and I have um, I like to see love, but black love. And that movie showed us how it can go up and down, but it can come back together.
Mm-hmm.
And something we often don't see in the black community highlighted is coming back together. We usually just see the break apart, but not to come back together. And for two people to have a love for one thing to be able to come back together.
That's good. Good observation. So let us know, everybody that's listening, what's your favorite movie? Because maybe that can be one of our movie nights. We love movies. by the way.
Um, yeah, I ain't gonna go there.
What?
I read into all the movies though. I take something from every movie.
Oh yes, he is the more analytical when it comes to the movie selections. But nonetheless, that actually kind of leads us to our topic of the day, which is what our relationship goes anyway.
I can tell you this much: it's more than a hashtag.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than a hashtag. Relationship goals like as like we're still kind of like babies when people talk about how long you've been married. You know, we're going on 3 years, but we've known each other since middle school. We dated a year in high school, so obviously we've seen each other in different seasons. But again, when you break down the word, right, the two words. So let's break down the second word, which is goals. Quentin, you break down relationship. So let's see. I'm going to give us the definition of goals, and Quentin is going to give us a definition of relationship. So Webster says a goal is the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. What's a relationship?
So, according to Webster, relationship is the way in which two or more people, groups, countries talk, behave toward, and deal with each other.
Okay. So, in order to have a relationship goal, you're putting your effort or aim for a desired result in how you operate, work with, talk with your spouse or significant other, right?
Right.
So, if it's a relationship goal, as in you're aiming to have a desired result with the person that you're talking with, working with, operating with, why are we relating that to other people?
Mm.
If the goal is to improve the rapport between one another, is the relationship goal to be like them or to be a better us?
It should always be to be a better us. Um, one one problem with trying to model, it's okay to model someone else and allow them to be an example, but you must create your own path. And the reason for that is because if you do not, you risk, it's just too many risks, only because you don't know what that relationship goes through behind closed doors. So to try to model everything they do and be like them is not, it's not going to be an effective relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in relationship and not be effective.
Right. That actually goes back to the goals. Like, what is the goal of the relationship? Somebody's goal in their relationship is to improve communication.
Mhm.
Somebody's goal is to improve their finances.
Somebody's goal may be to improve quality time.
You know, that goes back to Dr. Gary Chapman's, I'm about to say Coleman, Dr. Gary Chapman's book, The Five Love Languages. And you all should get that book, and we're going to put a link in the description box for you to actually order it. But he has this free test on his website where you can assess your goals or assess your love languages via his test, his series of questions, rather. And what I learned from that series of questions is that I personally like words of affirmation and I like quality time. So, words of affirmation for me is something as simple as thanks for doing that. You know, just an appreciation, right? And then the spending quality time. Quality time is me and my husband watching a show together, or me and my husband having our business chat. It's just me and him working together, or just simply relaxing together. But that looks different. Somebody else's quality time is um they got to travel, or it just looks different is my point. And so, Quentin, what about you? What were your results from the Dr. Gary Chapman um love language? Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
Well, out of the five, what do you like the most?
Um,
Or what do you prefer in the relationship?
I think quality time is definitely one. Now, I'm definitely one that likes to have when I need a moment by to myself or a day to myself. That's one thing. But I'm definitely an advocate for quality time. One being that the way I grew up, I didn't have any siblings in the house, so it's to be in covenant with you as my wife. It's great to actually be able to just do things and not only do that, but being able to have some really dope, amazing conversations. Like in the midst of, let's just say we bowling, we having a whole podcast that ain't a podcast. So I mean, I didn't grow up with that dynamic, so that means a lot to me.
Yeah, that's cool. And for me, I have siblings, and they are older than me, and so I had some quality time with them, of course, but essentially towards that peak age where you want to go out, you can go out. It was just me and my niece. So we built that relationship, and then of course when my other niece came, we built that relationship. So I actually had to be the older sibling, even though I was their aunt. You get what I'm saying? Just because of the age and things of that nature, but I get what you're saying, spending time, quality time, going out, doing things together. I love it. Um, Family related in our marriage. I do enjoy just spending time with people, getting just taking time to spend time, because time is precious, which is why these relationship goals still question me. Because I'm like, if time is so precious, if this relationship is so sacred, why are people aiming for this idea when your love story is so unique?
Mm. Um, I think it's a deep rooted thing about. I think it's deep rooted in psychology and sociology.
Okay.
Um, we you're supposed to have good examples. One of the old time examples I remember is, of course, again TV, uh, Cosby's,
Right, right.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I mean, Fresh Prince of Bel Air was like when 7 o'clock came or 8 o'clock. I can't remember back in the day, but when it came, everything shuts off for 30 minutes.
That's it. Right.
So those were good role models,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to find out what role will you play in your relationship.
Come on now.
A role model is a role model. It's a guide, not the answer key.
Mm,
So
okay now.
that's where I'm gonna just be honest. I'll just be direct.
Go ahead on.
It's to the point where lazy.
Okay.
I'm saying you can't want relationship goals and be lazy.
Right. I see that.
You
Yeah.
gotta work at it. You got to go day night. Like, I'm not saying it's like a 12 hour, 18. This is a continuous process where, how bad do you really want it?
Mm-hmm.
Because your mouth, as older people would say, as I grew up, mouth will say empty thing. But what will your actions? Your actions will speak louder than your words, and it'll
That's
say
right.
what's your real goals.
What's the heart of the matter?
Do you have any goals, or are you just saying?
Again, what is a goal? It's the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result.
But you choose goal or illusion.
Mm,
So even though you don't make a choice, it's still a choice.
right.
And you could stay stuck in illusion or make a goal. Every goal won't be overnight.
Mm-mm.
And ultimately, we live in the popcorn era.
Mhm.
So that's why I say those those images and those imageries that we had that was positive role models of a family in one house together and working towards a goal, and that was, why do you think they had so many seasons in those shows? So we have to get back to doing the work.
Mhm.
Everything, I like social media, I like technology, but everything can't be automated.
Come on.
So smart goals, as you like to say.
And everybody, you can develop smart goals in your marriage and your relationship. You know, the smart goal just means it's specific, measurable, attainable, has a time frame, and you can obviously it's reasonable, right? It's actually something that you can really work towards. And essentially, hopefully, I broke that down correctly for my smart goal people. If I didn't, just put in the chat. But the point of the matter is the smart goal is something that you can actually break down into bite-sized steps. That's the summary. And in our relationship, it was funny because Quinn and I had a conversation and I made reference to somebody else's relationship. And he said, "Are you married to them or me?" And I was like, "I'm married to you." And he was like, "Well, we cannot relate what we do to that particular couple." And I said, "You know what? You're right." And from that day forward, I don't reference other people. I just say, we need to do this.
Yeah, you got me because I don't remember that. But yeah,
Yes. It was a small comment. I was like, "Oh, such and such, they do this." And you were like, "Are you married to them or me?" It's okay. It's a real conversation.
it
This was
is.
this was a real conversation because a lot of times you bring up certain things and you don't realize what spirit you're bringing it up in. Are you coveting or congratulating? Are you supporting or sabotaging? Like you have to figure out what spirit are you coming in. When you say relationship goals and oh, let's reference this person, let's reference that person. What spirit is it coming from? What's the heart of why you're saying it? Why you're advocating for it? You know, I don't like to tap into other people's stuff because again, I was corrected that when you tap into other people's household, something gonna tap dance on yours. But I will make one comment, and my one comment is this: we highlight celebrities. Yes, in the media recently, we heard about Devon Franklin and his wife. Well, now ex-wife Megan Good.
Not quite yet, but yeah,
Not quite yet. They filed, but it ain't final. Come on, it could come back.
could come back.
It was filed, but it's not final. Okay,
But
I preach
if
right there.
if You know what? It doesn't have to be final, but it's got to be determined between the two people and not media.
Yes. Right. That's
So
exactly where I was going. Yes.
because everybody's wanting to spin this and make it like now granted, I have my own thoughts and my own opinions about it,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, that's their situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I say to that is that like life ain't no crystal stair for us. Just
But
because we
still we
up here.
rise.
Right. So it's work. So my thing is, I guess when you decide you're not clocking in no more, that's it. I mean, so I just hope that whether they stay together or not, I hope they do stay together and figure it out. Maybe I really do, but we have to look at it differently because we are examples
Mm-hmm.
for that era
Mm-hmm.
leaving high school, just graduating. We are that model for them now.
Correct.
And we are not sitting like our ancestors, the ones before us set the bar way higher. They weren't perfect and they didn't know a lot. They didn't have access to a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but they raised the bar and it's like can we keep the bar at a realistic level instead of just
Can we, as the songwriter said, can we stand the rain?
right and not run out.
Because I mean, that's what's happening in this generation. One wrong move. What they used to say in the movies? One sudden move, and I'm pulling the trigger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry to use such a harsh example, but my point is this generation is very, if you do one thing I don't like, I am out. Papers are filed. Mama
like
is called.
like you didn't fold the clothes, you didn't wash the dishes, like or it builds up until it one day it all just come out and it just gets
Hmm.
nasty.
It gets nasty. And that's the thing. The relationship goal needs to be, what can I do to improve this relationship? Set goals for the relationship and say, our relationship goals are to read the Bible daily together at night. Our relationship goal is to go walking in the neighborhood for 30 minutes. Set goals for the relationship. Our relationship goal is to save X amount of money in the savings account. Like, let those be your goals.
Like
Let
how can we build each other spiritually, financially, intellectually, and emotionally?
let what you see on social media, as Quentin said, be an example, but not the actual goal itself.
Yeah.
If your goal is to travel the world, don't base it off their budget. You got to set your own budget.
Because social media gives you the opportunity to fake it. You can fake it. You could be whoever you want to be on social media. I mean, there is so much stuff like Airbnb. There, I mean, you could really fake it between social media and good credit cards. You could fake it.
You could be
So,
whatever you want to be.
but my thing is not getting stuck on that. Keep your own goals and stay focused
Hmm.
um, on your reality.
Yes.
because we don't know what people got going on behind the picture, behind the social media. And at the end of the day, you have to go home with that person that you married or you're in relationship with. So work on your goals, create your goals, work your goals, and see them come to pass.
Yeah. So before we close out this episode, what is one goal that you have for our relationship, Quinton?
One goal I have is um having more time. Um Not saying we don't have a lot of quality time, but things such as working, like we both work and we do stuff outside of work, and you have to work, but we have to we're my goal for us is to begin to work smarter, and working smarter allow us to have access back to more of our time.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean our money goes down, it means our money goes up without losing one or the other, like getting our time back for more.
There you go. Okay. One goal for me is that we just be able to go back to our old routine, you know, going out. Like, obviously, we're in a pandemic, but like we had a routine, and I want to go back to that. But obviously, you don't want to go back, but you want to be better. So,
Right.
taking those principles from that time frame and implementing them now to have more creative opportunities when we do have more time, you know. So
And I
when we get that time back, utilizing it in creative ways.
right.
Yeah.
And our small trips are prepping us for our bigger trips. We're learning how to pack more better. We're learning how to pack lighter, how to like really gauge out what we need, what we don't. So it's, um, and we're actually beginning to map out what we want to do.
Hmm. And we have some educational goals.
Yep.
So it's like when you begin to work with your partner, it the goal is always going to get met because you have someone holding you accountable. You have someone who will, help you to stay on track. And more importantly, this is the person that you can quote unquote compete with. Like, it's me versus it's me versus me. However, in a fun competition way, it's me versus my husband for fun. Just to say, haha, I said I was gonna save $50, I saved 60, just something cute like that. Just to kind of have a little fun in the midst of reaching your goals. So I hope that helped you guys. What
Yep.
are relationship goals? The goals that you set in your relationship. Those are relationship goals.
And
Anyway,
create smart ones.
and make sure they're smart. SMART. All right. With that being said, this has been another episode of
Resilient love.
Resilient Love. Make sure you follow us, subscribe, like, and share. See ya.
See ya. Thank you to all listeners and subscribers. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Leave us a 5-star review on Apple so that we can continue sharing resilient love. Thanks for listening.